Welcome once again to Breakfast Central. Now, Nigeria's Senate has confirmed the appointment of Balarabe Lawal from Kaduna State, Ayodele Olawande from Ondo State, and Jamila Bio Ibrahim from Kwara State as ministers of the Federal Republic. The confirmation, however, was not short of its own drama, as Lawal had slumped on the floor of the Senate during his screening exercise. The president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, had announced the confirmation of the ministers after they were cleared through a voice vote by members of parliament. Amadin reports.
The screening exercise commenced on the floor of the Senate shortly after the commencement of plenary. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, the nominee for the youth ministry from Kwara State, appeared before lawmakers, saying she's aware of the challenges being faced by Nigerian youths.
We're aware of the challenges that Nigerian youth are faced with: underemployment, unemployment, yes, and of course, poor access to health, access to affordable and quality healthcare, poor access to quality education, and of course, we are deprived of skills that will make us keep up with the current realities of the job market.
She promised that if cleared by the Senate, she will lead by example and be a model for many.
If confirmed, Mr. President, thank you, sir. If confirmed as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to pilot the affairs of the youth ministry, my first and most important role would be to inspire young people.
Balarabe Lawal from Kaduna State then took his turn, convincing lawmakers of his capacity and preparedness for the job.
I have been part of administration, I've been part of policy making, I've been part of trying to change things in the country based on what I did at the federal level.
After a little over 20 minutes, a mild drama ensued as he slumped on the floor of the Senate.
Can you say water, give me water. Water and sugar. Water, sugar. Get sugar, and water. Is there? Where is Dr. Wale? Can the camera see immediately?
The Senate then went into a closed-door session. The screening exercise continued after the emergency was dealt with. The president of the Senate then took a voice vote where lawmakers unanimously confirmed their nomination. This brings the total number of ministers that will serve in the administration of President Bola Tinubu to 48. Amadin reporting for News Central.
And of course, those are three new ministers that have been sworn in. You know, interesting to see the minister from Kaduna State. If you remember the controversy that occurred when the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, was initially, meant to be one of the ministers from Kaduna State,
but stepped down.
Yeah, he was stepped down, after security clearance, or he didn't pass security clearance, according to the reports back then a few weeks ago. So congratulations to the new ministers. It adds once again to the list. It was, of course, stated earlier that Nigeria currently has the largest number, probably the biggest portfolio that we've
this is the most bogus portfolio that we've had since Nigeria became an independent country.
Yes.
And that this again reminds us of the conversation about cutting the cost of governance that we keep talking about. Why do we have an over-bloated cabinet? And why are we still always complaining? And why, when Nigerians are hearing speeches, or when we hear a speech from the president on the independence, the 63rd independence of the country, insinuating or sort of inferring that Nigerians should hold on for a while, that it gets dark before it gets bright. People then ask, who are these people you're asking to hold on? Yeah. Is it the masses or your over-bloated cabinet? Because if you're asking us to hold on, your cabinet is not feeling the pinch that the Nigerians are feeling. We haven't quite gotten over the sending of prayers to people's emails by the Senate president, and then we keep increasing the portfolio in the cabinet. It's quite an uncomfortable scene.
Very true, but of course, these are still names that have been added. Yes, a sad incident yesterday where one of the ministers collapsed, but it's reported that he is better now and is back on his feet. But of course, I was going to say these are also these are some of the new names that have been added. Jamila Bio Ibrahim is one of the young persons that have been, of course, appointed ministers. So it's maybe something to celebrate, that there's maybe also the most number of young people that have been made ministers in the current cabinet. They have a lot of work to do, regardless of the reasons that they've been made ministers. Yes, it's part of the constitutional requirements, but they should understand the work that they have to do, and it's not going to be easy in any way for either of them. I was going to share, bits of their profiles, but maybe we'll just have to move away from that.
All right.
Now, away from politics, the public health sector has recorded yet another great feat in the fight against malaria.